want to first off thank you for being here. I want to thank Dale and Reverend Motley and Jason McGuire, who has taken me under his wing from before. I'm new here, so folks, I just got elected a year ago, November, and Steve and Kathy Marchione, and oh, thank you very much. And a new friend I just met a week ago, Kathy, who came down here with, yes, that's you, and who came down here with me. And I'm a newbie. First off, where's the Western New York crowd? I'm Buffalo, Wyoming County. God bless all of you. Thank you. I'm a newbie. Last year, I came down here. Jason McGuire said, why don't you come on down and see what's going on. And I came down, and he called me up and he said, why don't you go speak? And I was like, speak? I had just gotten baptized 6 months earlier. So I didn't know what to say. And thank you. And he told me that he said, wait another year. And everybody kept telling me, wait a year, and you'll grow so much. And what a journey it has been, folks. To devote your life to Christ is an amazing thing. And when God takes a hold of you, there's not a thing you can do. And if you knew my previous life for 40, 50 years, you would be like, what is he doing up there? So it's an amazing thing, and I worship it every day. My wife, about a year beforehand, right, I had been baptized on Easter, and what an inspiration she was as I watched her every night read the Bible and talk to me about it. And it just worked on me. And after about a year, literally, God came in and said, you're next. And there was not a thing I could do about it. And it's been unbelievable. A couple of things I want to talk to you about is when you're up here in Albany. So one thing I just learned 2 weeks ago, which I didn't know, but I'd always said it coming up here to my wife. I said, this is the most ungodly place I've ever been. I tell my wife, I drive up here, I get into Albany from Buffalo, and I go, there's a black cloud hanging over this city. I can see it. And we would laugh about it while Jason McGuire, Kathy, gave me the literature that said Albany is the #1 ungodly place in the country. And it's true, folks. It's true. And that's why we need you. When I was running, I told Jason McGuire, I wasn't even baptized yet. I had set up my baptism, and I said, use me. I said, God has put me in this position. A couple years earlier, I would never have, when I ran for an office and I was the mayor, he wouldn't have sent me up here. He waited until he took a hold of my heart to send me up here. And I have never forgotten that. He sent me up here for a reason. I, as the mayor, when she told you those great fluffy things, I did all those. And I was hailed in 2006 and 2007 as the leader in New York State for consolidations and mergers and downsizing government. And it's a record I'm very proud of. And I can do that in my sleep. But I came here to Albany to tell everyone about Jesus Christ and about the morals and the values we need to hold dear and to change our state. And a lot of times it's tough up here, as they've talked about. It is very tough. It's tough to walk the halls. And sometimes I'll give a speech and people they'll go, Dave, do you got any good news? Boy, oh boy, that was, because I tell people the first thing they say, what, now that you're up in Albany and you're in a legislator, it must be great. What's the thing that's really impressed you? And I tell them, nothing impresses me because I've never been to a more corrupt place in my life. The walls drip of corruption up here. They drip of ungodliness. And some people don't want to hear it, but I tell you because that's the truth and that's the way I am. And I'm up here to help wipe that clean. And I need your support. We all need your support. As Kathy Marchione had said, the letters, I got a letter yesterday. I was in my office about 10 o'clock at night, and I was going through a stack of papers. And here's a note, and I open it up, and it's from a high school girl in Eden, and her name's Laurel. And she said, I just wanted to let you know that I saw your speech on the unborn, and I pray for you, and I want to thank you. And it brought a tear to my eye. And it's things like that that keep you going up here, and we don't get it a lot when you're a Christian. They try to pull every ounce of Christianity out of you up here. They don't want you to talk about God. They want to live their own lifestyle and be able to say, hey, it's okay. But they push God out. And I'm here to tell you, I'm going to push God in. Only 25 more minutes? Thanks. Okay. As I said, my wife was born again, and she led me onto this journey. She was a driving force, my pastor. But Jason McGuire, and I never forget, and he said, Dave, when you get elected, and I said, well, it's only August, September, I got till November. He goes, no, when you get elected, we'd like you to come down to our prayer breakfasts every Tuesday. And I said, I'd love to do that. I said, use me, whatever you need. And a quick story, and you remember this, I think I mentioned it last year, but he brought me up in August and said, so we had breakfast, and he goes, I'll walk you around the Capitol, introduce you to a few people, and even though I wasn't elected, I was just going through the primary and all that. And we come down where those big steps are, right in the Capitol building, where there's like all those marble steps. And there's a group of people, about 60, 70 people, and there's a priest up there. He had the black with the white thing on, and he looks at me and he smiles. He goes, hey, I got to go into this office. Go over there and just check that out for a minute and tell me what you think. I'll be back in a couple minutes. So I walk over to this group, and it's like a bunch of preaching and stuff. Like I said, it was a person with a priest's outfit on. Well, he was preaching that the state has to allow full-term abortion and gay marriage. And my jaw dropped, and after about listening to this, and I walked downstairs, and he just smiled, and I said, what's going on? And he says, Dave, we don't just fight liberals or atheists up here, we fight other religions. And that's what we have here. So I need to tell you that because we need everybody, and now we need to turn this state around, and I think we can do it. Because I know my father, who died in 2007, he would be, from what the person I was, if he could see me today, he'd be proud, and I'm proud to be his son. I don't want to stay long, so I want to just say one thing I introduced last year. At the very second last day of session, we were going through the full-term abortion bill in the Assembly, and I stood up, and just so you know, I take my Bible with me on the floor wherever I go. I'm doing and I did that the first day I came to Albany. I did it and I did it on purpose, folks. I did it. I wanted to know who was with me and who was against me. I wanted to know, I knew what Albany was, and I wanted to put it on the desk so whenever people came to talk to me, they would see that. And I've had a real eye-opening, the people who snicker or laugh versus the people who just accept it and talk to me. And that's what we get up here. So the second last day, I did a speech. We were doing the abortion bill, and I did my speech on that, and I did the unthinkable in Albany, and that was at the end of the speech. I broke down on the unborn, and to this day, it's probably one of my biggest passions. So I am introducing the heartbeat bill this week. Last week I introduced it. It's where every woman who goes in for an abortion must be shown the sonogram, must see that child, and they say when a woman sees that child, 70% of the time she will keep it. So I just want to say I'm so honored to be here. I love talking to other Christians. It fills me. And I'll leave you with, we need a revival up here, folks. We need a revival in Albany. We need a revival in this state. And every one of you, you don't have to clap for that because we all know it, but I'm here, we're here, you're here, and that's the most important thing because it starts with one. And as people have told me, and as Kathy over here has told me, and my wife, For such a time as this. For such a time as this. Each one of us are a light to show to others in this state right now. For such a time as this. We can do it. God bless all of you. Thank you for having me.